Everything, so you guys know what the hell you're looking at. So you should be able to see me in there. Red, orange, and yellow guy, blue beard. People call me Nearly Headless Nick if you guys get the Harry Potter reference on that. So where's the other Nick out of this? Was it you? All right, perfect. I was like, all right, I got to look to make sure I got the one name that I can definitely memorize down pat. But so you could be Nearly Headless Nick later on. But with this, we are looking for the cold spots. They're going to be blue and black. That's why my beard is blue, because it's colder than my skin. It's always going to be in reference to whatever's inside the frame. Now, we're always looking for blue and black, but we're always going to have it, but we want it to move or to take shape. When I say take shape, I want a head, shoulders, moving arms and legs. That's what I'm looking for out of this guy. That's what we've caught with this guy in the past. Hopefully we'll capture it again. I also love to give you stats about the equipment you're about to use. I love how you guys are all laser focused right now. You're freaking me out a little bit. But anyway, the stats on this guy, I capture about 4 to 5 pieces on this guy per year, not per episode. Okay, so kind of keep in mind, I'm not a TV show host, and I'm definitely not a YouTuber. Am I a TikToker? Hell yeah, I love to promote shit on TikTok and make fun of other people on TikTok. But anyway, we're 4 to 5 pieces per year, like that's a big deal. We caught something pretty large just last week, so you guys will be able to scroll through your data page when you're done with this, and you'll be able to go back and see that. But at any rate, there's also a blue dot bouncing around the screen for you. The blue dot is there to show you the coldest spot in the frame at that moment. I'm looking for 15+ degree temperature drops out of that blue dot. So you probably can't see it too great on there. It's probably moving around pretty quick.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you guys see it now? So it is, about 60 degrees out here, I think is what I wrote down. So I'll be looking for 45 degrees and colder out of that blue dot. I want to make sure that it's not a sign that caught some wind, an aluminum can on the ground, a windshield. I want it to move. So if it's 45 degrees or colder, I want to see 45, 43, 46. Like I want to see it moving through the frames. So you guys will notice that in the event that I find something in the spot check, or if you find something in real time. That's the cool thing about this. So Preston, that's obviously the only button you. So what's going to happen with this location, we're going to investigate every space a different way. This one in particular, I'm going to give you the history, and then we're going to spread out, staying away from the vehicles, and I'm going to do round robins with all of you, and it kind of gives you an opportunity to get used to your devices, and I take a shit ton of notes, and then I regroup you to start giving you answers. Speaking of, anybody with a communicator, the spirit box, Ouija board, and then our word generator. Oh, I like the word writing on it. That's good. We'll talk about that later on. I'm a little bit excited about that. Not a whole lot excited. But anyway, I'm going to start with holding information on purpose. I don't want you guys looking for every single little tiny clue. That's the fun part about this. You're going to discover things, and I'm going to be able to tell you why things are relevant. So I'm not going to be giving you questions here like what color was George Washington's white horse, like what we did with the Big Red Barn, right? So why are we here? What is this place? This place used to be the Charles and Eliza Pinckney Mansion. Their mansion sat in the front of the space facing East Bay Street. Eliza's garden was pretty much lined up with where we're standing and went all the way across. And then the servant and slave quarters were in the back of the space. That's the layout. Who the hell were they? Charles and Eliza had a son named Charles. They had a nephew named Charles. That's 3 different Chucks. That's why we look for secondary clues. In the event that the name Charles shows up somewhere, hopefully somebody else gets a clue so I know which one it is and we know how to address them. Make sense to everybody? Now, moving on. The son and the nephew were signers of the Constitution for South Carolina. Big deal for us, but I hate politics more than all of you combined, especially when we're 3 weeks away from an election. So, if I don't bring it up and give the gentleman that recognition, they will do it for me in a nasty manner coming through a spirit box. So I just give it to them, we move on. Speaking of, let's move on. Eliza is who we're going to be discussing. She marries Charles at a young age according to today's standards. I say it slowly, it's because if you're going to ask her how old she was when she married him, do not expect numbers from the days of the colonial times when young ladies got married at like 12 and 14. Think of today's standards. Move your camera. Just lower your camera for me. You got folks coming up behind you. Lower your camera. Come back into the group until they load up and get the hell out of here. Sorry, people get really funny about us with cameras out here. But she don't expect the numbers like 12 and 14. Think of today's standards because the husband was over double her age when they married. Kind of a creepy age gap back then, creepy age gap now. I'm just going to put that out there. So if it's an age gap between a couple that's in between us right now, I'm sorry, but it is creepy. But anyway, we'll just move forward. So she married him because her father was over in England, and Dad thinks he's dying. He's trying to bring all of his children home one last time. And she didn't believe he was dying, so she stayed put, right here, got married. It's 1744. You don't get married in that year to earn a green card. We're not a country yet. She married him out of true love. This is not a horrific story. It is a place of respect and a true love story, to be quite honest with you. So, just be respectful when we spread out. We're not there yet. Hang on. So, she was correct. Dad did not die right away, and instead he starts sending her gifts from England to where you're standing. One of those gifts happened to be the plant seeds of indigo. That's It's a plant that makes blue dye. It makes your blue jeans blue. Some of you might be wearing it tonight. I can't see because we're in the dark. But that's how we use it. When she got her seeds, though, no idea what to do with it. It's not always, she had to learn from the slaves how to keep it going. It's not always warm here. Obviously, you guys are wearing sweatshirts tonight. And then she had to learn how to make the dye, moved to a cash crop plantation down by the Stono River, got a hold of her father and told him that the rice plantation crops were going downhill in price. They were going to make a killing with this indigo. She was correct. So now we have an international businesswoman during colonial times, something absolutely unheard of. So this is a place of respect. So when we spread out, if you're going to go rogue with questions, I'm going to assign questions to anybody with a communication device. Just remember that anybody with a communication device can get the answers from anybody else. So even if Mikey likes is listening and asking questions, the answers might go over to Nick. We don't know. That's the beauty of this. Even if there were just 2 people here, we would have at least 2 communicators and a camera, because the cameras all have audio. We don't know what's going to show up on there either. That's the beauty of this. We're using all different equipment. The only duplicate we're going to have is because our little Envoy Ouija board device is not working properly, so I'm going to be giving Olivia the same device as what Jimmy has, so that way we can cover all bases. So here's how this is going to work out. We're not using this guy tonight. So with yours, you're going to be going after Eliza's maiden name. The reason why is because she's the second wife named Eliza from Charles back to back. So Charles's first wife, also named Eliza, also had a maiden name that started with the letter L. So I'm giving you a clue that both Elizas have the same initials of ELT, which is normally what you would be looking for on this guy. But we're going to hopefully get what her maiden name was on there. You can also ask questions about the marriage, like how long they were married, the dates, because that thing will give you numbers as well. Next communication box, so actually the 2 of you together, you're going to have the same set of questions as well. You're both going to be focused on Eliza's death. So 4 major questions that we get answers to about her death: her age at time of death, what she died from, where she's buried, and which president was a pallbearer at her funeral. So age, how, where, president. Those are your 4 majors. If you go rogue, just be respectful about her death, please. And last but not least, Nick, with yours, it usually only gives us 1 to 2 syllables at a time. So your questions are nice and simple. What happened to the mansion? If you get the what, you will normally get the 2 or 3 numbers from the exact date of when that tragedy occurred. I just gave you a clue of the tragedy. So if you go rogue and ask your own questions, you can cherry pick off of anything else that I did. The only thing I'm going to ask all groups, anybody communicating, is to no yes, no questions. We've already covered that. Be respectful. I've said that several times. And do not ask about Eliza's children. I will explain before we leave the space. You'll piss her off and all activity will stop. Have you seen anything else above a 6?
Nope.
Then you get a 17?
Yeah. Well, yeah. 17.
Okay,
So
17.
first, second.
Yeah, so and that's what we want. So if it was consistent, like 17, 15, 19, like going back and forth, it would probably be for something man-made. So the fact that you had a 17 and it went down to less than 2,
Yep.
like I'm excited about that. This
Gotcha.
is me excited, everybody, just so you guys have that idea. I'm not a TV show host. So definitely everybody spread out. I do say that you've gone up to about a 15 on yours. I know the colors by heart, so I got the 15, the 17, so that kind of matches up with what Jimmy's got going on with his. Obviously, I'm going to keep you 2 behind so I can get you your new device, but everybody spread out, get used to your devices. I'll be with everybody in just a minute. All right. Yeah, he can unmute it now.
I need some verification. Yeah. Good job, man.
There are no couples within the school that you guys rotate?
There are a couple, Mike and Becky and
You usually read clues pretty good. Like, you guys still here for a week. Really? hearing things?
I've heard 980 a couple of times. Either 1980 or 980. Maybe that's just.
Okay. Could be somebody referencing 89 because they couldn't find 89, so they used 980.
See how it goes, right?
Single, doubles, just depends. I get a number. I usually tell my other folks because they're getting all of the jargon, like names, numbers, and nouns, or like the three N's or what you want to look for. But with this one, I just want to know anything that pops up. Even if it just says hello, it's a weird possibility that it wasn't with radio DJ saying. You know what I mean? Especially if it's on top of the hour, like a couple of lanes.
No, sir. I ain't seen nothing yet other than the sky.
All right, Melissa, what are we getting out of it now?
I've heard wedding a few times.
Okay. Anything else?
Wedding?
Some people use their phones to take notes because with a group this size, I might not get to you for a few minutes. So, again, completely up to you, however you want to do it. I'm not surprised by the word wedding, but we've been getting a lot of stuff around a wedding, which is weird because we're not even near the anniversary date of Eliza and George. So it's super interesting. And nothing weird coming out of your cam?
No.
Okay. Again, that's why it's small in real time. We'll see what happens when I spot check it.
Just kind of trying to watch the people because if their stuff jumps and you see something on this.
That's the secondary clue. I will tell you that based off of what is being heard and seen in real time so far, it doesn't seem like we have Eliza and Charles here, but another ghost that follows me from one location to another. And I don't know why he keeps coming over here. He showed up here one day last week and once the week before that. But these readings that we're getting from Jimmy's device, they're a little crazy. So
And which one's Jimmy?
Jimmy got a 101 on his EMF meter.
Okay. I know who you're talking about.
All right.
He's over there in the corner calling out the numbers. Yeah, we're going to get mugged on the way home.
I did not write down Donald Trump. Wow. You guys are going to see how that all comes together here. If you have a camera, go ahead and put a stop to it. So just hit stop and relax with those. We're going to cover all the answers. I'm going to just put this out there. First and foremost, all of the clues that are coming up that you guys are finding are relevant to another ghost. Sounds like the perfect job for you. Alright, so I mean, you could put that camera right up to the wrought iron gate, and then you know you got to zoom on your lens and with the light. So just get us some good footage, slowly moving back and forth, kind of see what we got going on in there. Here, let me give you a job there, dude. Here it is there. I love it. Yeah, just try not to drop that in there.
I understand. Yeah, I'm not going. You mean we can't get in there to do it? I've had something pop up twice right there, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it popped up in between here. 'Cause the sky's up here, and I see it catch the corner there, but it popped up here, and then it popped up right here, and then it hasn't. I was trying to find it again. And
Your foliage back there is going to be colder than anything else.
okay, I see what you're saying.
So anything like along that ivy wall.
Yeah, yeah, literally, it was like here, and then it went here.
we had some really dark shots without that extra light on there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like when I was just using the flashlight,
Right,
still had
right.
some dark spots.
I can focus a bit more. Or...
And you're saying in like in the back areas right there, that's going to be your coldest?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be mainly because of
Yeah.
the ivy walls.
And you said you were looking for somewhere around the 40s, right?
Yeah, 45.
Okay.
There's nothing like watching thermal imaging of a cemetery.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just thinking.
It's really cool stuff.
I was just thinking like, yeah, it's nuts.
Well, the camera that SURY's using is still new. Like that whole rig is all new. I replaced an old camera that was using full spectrum instead. I went to infrared, and, to replace the full
Yeah.
spectrum, and it just works so much better. How are we doing on all the other gear?
Thermal imaging a cemetery. Hold on. That, and he said the back pieces like that would be the coldest area. You're looking for like 45 degrees. You hear anything? You want to hold it? Walk sideways here.
All right, Melissa, what do you got coming out of yours? What do you got coming out of yours?
I'm sorry?
What do you got coming out of yours?
It's probably just random, but I got 12, 2, and 5, or 25. Promise, parents, Christian.
Promise shows up here all the time.
Okay. Alright, what about 38?
I don't know. I'll have to look and see. 'Cause I wanna say he
I'm
died
trying to
in-
write down stuff
Yeah,
as I hear it, but who knows what
38. It's definitely not his age, but it could have been his year. I want to say he died in
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes things get so scrambled. But she has photos of those. I like that because with that sign over there, so it's right inside the cemetery.
Oh, that's cool. Very neat.
I just wanted to get it for about 10 minutes before they do more.
Okay.
He knows his history.
Hmm?
He knows the history.
Anything for you?
No, just that one time. Nothing else has popped up at all. I keep trying to move back and forth, but then, like hold it still. Move positions, but hold it still just to see if something walks by or... Place is awesome looking though in there. It's like just what you would expect to turn on and sit here and do ghost hunting.
Let's see how yours looks.
Like, and then there's a
Oh, see, look at that.
yeah. If you look up here in the sky, it's cooler. So you'll
yeah.
see that blue dot. When the blue dot pops up, though, you'll see like a change in the color going colder.
She has the phrase cold air that she heard out of her spirit box. So have you seen anything else weird?
40. No. It's like a minute ago. I thought I saw something right there, but then it was just off so quick. I think it was just
screenshots. So I'll be watching that for sure. Watch that.
And when you say screenshots, as far as like going back and watching it,
Yeah, so when I watch stuff, if
Yeah.
I find something, I'll do screenshot and give you guys like a play-by-play
Yeah.
of what happened.
do you have a way to like fast forward, play it fast, and see when it pops up,
So
or do you just sit down and kind of
when I watch it on YouTube, I usually put it in like 2x speed, and I
Oh,
watch like 1
okay.
minute at a time.
Yeah,
So if
that's what I
something
was-
pops
yeah.
up in my 1 minute intervals, then I will do a freeze frame on it and literally slow it down to quarter speed so I
Yeah.
can get a frame by frame. And then I take a bunch of screenshots. You guys get the screenshots and the markers.
Yeah.
Like you guys get the full gambit when I find something.
Yeah.
Now the thing I found with that camera last week was we were in.
Now right there was a 38, 39, 40, 40, 39.
Trying to see what it's picking up on. Oh,
I was saying, it looks like a tree right
Yeah.
there, though. There's a cat,
It's Jackie.
but
So the view, I want you've seen what people look like in there, like,
Yeah.
just standing up.
Yeah.
So imagine me standing here with the layers that I wear, and there's a cold thing that goes across my ankles. The next frame it's on my knees, the next frame it's on my thighs, the next one it's covering my right arm, and it just goes all over my face and covers up my body
Look.
heat. You're probably picking up on the bushes,
okay,
more than likely.
okay.
Sorry, where are we at on that timer?
9 minutes.
Okay.
And then, like you said, you were looking for it to move.
Oh,
That's the
yeah,
only thing
always
they
looking.
haven't done is like
And the
move.
move.
It went from that side to that, but you have two bushes there too.
Okay. Jackie always steals the show from me. All right, guys, let's All right, let's rein it in. We're gonna go back down to this ledge to kind of tell you what's going on here. Go ahead and put a stop on your cameras. What color is a blue banana? All right, Henry Timrod, we're gonna ask that you come forward. If you're around, we're gonna ask about your line of work. So tell us about your work. We're going straight into it. We're getting to the anniversary of a few things in your life. Let's start off nice and simple. It's a loud Friday night. You're always careful. Tell us what you did for a living. Maybe what you love to do.
James.
I know who James is. And Henry, this is Nick in the middle. He's using the blue box, so you can give him images so he doesn't fall asleep in there. Which I don't think that's going to happen with him. Henry. Henry.
Danger.
What's the danger, Henry? I'm asking about your work.
Death.
Okay?
Am I supposed to be saying everything?
Everything.
Okay, rock and roll. I can't hear anything, so I wasn't sure if it was my turn to talk. Loosely.
Henry. Now that we're back under control here.
Country.
Henry, what did you do for a living? You can show us. We can interpret pictures.
Back and forth. Contact. Volunteer.
Henry, what was your line of work?
Jesus Christ.
Not a religious man.
Wallet.
Henry, can you tell us the anniversary of what's coming up?
Thrown in the streets. Mental health.
Henry, what's the anniversary coming up?
25.
Baby stranded.
Henry, thrown in the streets. Seems to be a weird combination.
Midnight.
You almost look like you need to
Freezing.
slow down. It's very deep. Henry, we're testing a lot of different instruments out here tonight, so bear with us. Get back to your work. What did you do for a living?
Moonlight.
Henry, can you give us an image in the blue box? Dr. Ladd, if you're here, you know your code word?
Sunshine.
Friends. Death by rock?
Henry, whose death is coming?
Backhand.
Whose death anniversary is coming up? It's not something I normally dive into, but we're getting pretty close to the date. Can you tell us whose death anniversary is coming up? And what did
Thomas.
Ribbons?
and what is the exact date of the anniversary?
Phase you out. Countdown.
Henry. Not really giving us a whole lot, and we'd like to see an image.
Adriana?
Henry, let's get back to your work. Let's get back.
Lose my soul. Outpatient. On 6 minutes.
Okay. Nick's analyzing the program in there.
Timeless.
Henry, let's get you a little bit of recognition here. Do you know that you were a laureate? And can you tell us what field that falls into? I've read some of your work,
Wild love.
most of your work. Henry, we're going to be running out of time here very shortly, and you haven't given us any answers yet.
Black story time.
Liz is really struggling with this.
Hmm?
She's really struggling in there, like she's like squinting and. Henry, we're down to about 4 minutes.
Radioactive. Nightly spirit time.
Yep, this is the nightly spirit time, Henry. This is your time to tell us what you want us to say, whatever you want. I ask the questions, and you can change the subject as long as I can verify.
Chandelier.
Come with respect.
Stage?
Henry,
Preview?
if you want us to leave, give us the code word of home.
Calm down.
Henry, I've asked about the anniversary.
All things down.
She said walk. Is that what she said?
Mm-hmm. Walk.
Henry, an image, and we'll leave you alone. One measly image.
Four.
Four.
Light down.
Henry, one little image
Passenger side.
will get out of your hair. Henry, we're gonna call it. Can you say goodnight? You're not.
Reveal down.
Sheila?
Fall on me. Oh my.
Hardly.
Sherry.
So yeah, with 2 minutes to go, I think it's fair to say nothing is happening here. Would you guys all agree? Okay, let's get the ladies tapped out. Nick, peel that thing off your face. Go ahead and tap out the ladies on the leg. Lightly.
I did. She would have jumped anyway.
No images at all. Okay, verified.
Did you
Sometimes it flickers and it will say
Yes.
something.
Yeah.
So I always double check it to be on the safe side.
That was weird.
Yeah, no.
There. We both said the
Okay.
same. We both said the same exact name.
It said Adriana at the
Oh,
exact
At the
same
same exact time.
Oh, that's cool.
So absolutely no activity out of this whatsoever. So a complete unsuccessful setup. So I hope you guys can appreciate my honesty out of this. You guys know the
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
So the gentleman we were trying to talk to, like him and his son both died in the month of October. So sometimes it gets real quiet like this. Last October we didn't get anything. It was like this all
I
October.
kept hearing October 31st, but I just thought that was ironic because of the date.
Could be. I mean, it's also an easy grab for him. But it's not like October 31st is relevant to our ghost, but yes and no. It's different. But again, this whole experiment, like when we have stuff like this, I told you guys out like 2 minutes early, just because we had nothing going on. So when that happens, like we don't want to waste the extra 2 minutes, trying this out when he's not here, or he doesn't want to chat. Especially when we don't have any images that showed up out of this guy whatsoever. So that's 3 nights now where we had no images show up. So again, I never know. It's always worth a shot. A lot of times I'll test like the church bells, like they usually go off during the session. You guys can talk to Danny, by the way. Like, hey, Henry, what are we hearing right